Welcome to a new week here on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Micciche, co-owner of True North Retirement Advisors, an independent financial advisory practice managing over $390 million in client assets. If you are a few years on either side of retirement and looking for some daily quick tips to help you on your retirement journey, you are in the right place. So this week's theme is your listener questions answered. If you recall, a few weeks ago, I floated the idea of this Pick My Brain office hours. So a handful of people could register for this Zoom call. And in this very intimate setting with just a handful of people, we could do a deep dive on each person's questions, your most burning questions about retirement. So everyone got a chance to ask their question. We talked about it at length. And then the cool thing was that everybody heard others' questions as well and got to hear different perspectives, maybe saw some similarities with what they were also struggling with, wrestling with as they approach retirement as well. We covered questions. We talked about strange, weird annuities that most people would have never heard of before. We talked about sorting through parent assets after a death. We talked about how good are target date funds. They're pretty common in 401ks, but could you use a target date fund for your entire portfolio? And what would be a fair fee to pay an advisor? So you can see the questions here are pretty varied. The topics were quite varied. And since most of you listening are struggling with wrestling with these same questions, I wanted to address them in a broader context this week on the podcast. So each day I'm going to pick one of the questions that I think has that broader application, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts. All right. Thank you so much for listening this week. If you know someone who would benefit from listening to this week's theme, this potpourri theme, different retirement topics, please share the show. Maybe you'll hear something that kind of piques your interest, a specific episode this week. Take the extra few seconds and hit that share icon wherever you're listening right now to text or email the link to someone you know who you're like, oh, I think you could really benefit from listening to this particular episode. It's a great way to support the show, share the love, send something that is hopefully valuable for someone else. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot. All right, come on back tomorrow. I'm going to tackle listener question number 1. I'm not sure what that is yet, so we'll figure that out, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. All right, my name is Ashley Micciche, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips podcast.